Oh goodness, Brandy, what's going on? What's the matter?
Um, um, my boyfriend broke up with me this
Oh goodness, what?
morning. So I got up. I'm sorry, I'm late for work. I got up and he wasn't home. He wasn't asleep, and I usually get up first. Sometimes we get up at the same time depending on what he's got going on that day, but I'm always up first, and I didn't know what was happening. And so I got up and I was looking for him, and I didn't see him in the house. I didn't hear him, and then I went and I looked outside, and his car's not there. Like, where are you going? That's really unusual, And it's not like it's a special day, um, where like we have an anniversary or something, right? That he might have forgotten about and needed to like rush and leave and go get something. So I thought, okay, maybe something horrible has happened. I mean, why else would he just leave? And then obviously like he could have been like, oh well, she has a busy work day, and so maybe that's why he didn't wake me up. Like that's what I thought, and I was like, okay, he's trying to be considerate. So I go grab my phone because maybe he's texting me or whatever. I need to call him, and I do have a text message from him, and he just broke up with me, and he didn't say why. He didn't have a reason. He just said, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to be with you. Um,
Goodness,
relationship done. And I tried calling him and texting him, and I didn't get a reply. I don't know if he's even checked my messages. And then um I called his mom and his dad and his sister, thinking maybe one of them knows what's going on, right? Maybe he's just being weird today. Maybe something's wrong. I don't know. Um, and nobody answered. So I don't know what's going on. And some of his stuff is still at home. I mean, there's like a couple things of clothes and an overnight bag, and his toothbrush and stuff is gone. So he's I guess he's not coming back. I don't know what's happening. I just don't know.
goodness.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were together for a really long time, weren't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, like th 3.5 years. Yeah.
My goodness.
And yeah,
Okay.
who does that? Who just says, you know what, after 3.5 years, I can't do this. I'm just gonna send a text message and just walk out and not say anything and just be a little scaredy cat about it. Like if there's a problem, then say that. If there's doubts or there's issues, then say that. But he hasn't. Everything's been fine.
Right.
Um, like like I know that I've been working late recently because we've got some more clients and um, and I know we have a lot of therapists, but we still have more clients, and so but I've been letting him know like, hey, I'm my last sessions are booked at this time, and they're an hour, and then I should be home at this point. Like I've kept him up to date. I'm not just letting him sit there wondering what's happening. Um, so he knows that I'm here. He knows that I'm at work,
Right.
and yeah, and everything's been fine. Like our normal routine has been happening. Um, like we watch a show on Thursdays every Thursday. Um, and he's been fine with that on the Thursdays I've had to be home late,
Right.
And then he's always the one that keeps up to date with. I mean, like a show, the season will end, and then a new show is taking that place when that season ends, and he's always the one that like keeps me up to date. That's like, hey, remember this is the one that's coming on. I'm like, oh yeah, or like a couple times we tried some new stuff, and he's been the one to recommend it because that's just what he keeps up with, and I'm always like, yeah, I'm down. I'm open to this. I'm receptive. Or if I see a trailer, if he sees a trailer, like we watch it together. That's our thing, and that's been fine. Um, and and we've the a couple Sundays ago, we spent time with his family and everything was totally normal. Like we went over there, we had lunch, we clipped the dog's the dog's nails, and he helps me with that because they're dogs and they get real anxious, and that's
Sure.
just the normal thing we do together. And everything was fine. Everyone was fine, friendly, laughing, hugs, I love you, nothing out of the normal. I don't know if they even knew that this was coming. you know. But that was fine, and then everything at home has been fine. Like I've been getting home a little bit later, but I've still been able to keep up with cleaning and the little chores that I have, or if I know that that week like something, I feel like I'm not gonna get something done. Um, like I try and cook like once a week or so, and so during the week I found like, hey, I know this is my night, but I feel like maybe I'm not gonna have time. Do you want me to swing by and pick something up or order some food or whatever? I don't just like leave him hanging or leave that all on him. So I don't know. Everything felt like it was fine, and I try and check in, regularly, and I'm like, hey, how are you? How are we? Because I don't want us to be complacent. I want to make sure we figure anything out. Um, and I feel like we've done that, and he said everything was fine. Um,
When
but clearly that was a lie.
when was the last time y'all had that discussion about your
Uh-huh.
relationship?
I try and have that conversation on Sundays. Um, because I feel like that's like the beginning of our week. Like we go Monday through Friday, we both work. Saturday we like relax and we spend time together and all that kind of stuff, and then again on Sundays, but um usually Sundays is when I'm like, hey, check in. And sometimes we don't do it every week, we're human.
Exactly.
But But typically it's on Sundays, and I just like always want to make sure like, hey, are we good? Are we okay? Like, is there something I'm doing where I'm failing or I'm not, holding up my end of this relationship and stuff like that? And he said everything was fine, and there's been no changes from him. He's been fine, and so I don't have any issues. Um, that's what I've told him when we do our check-ins is I'm like, hey, you're great, everything is great. Like,
Sure.
you're awesome. I'm so lucky to have you. And apparently that's not the way that he felt because he just left this morning and sent me a text message and said it was over. Who
And
does that? Who does that?
that, I mean, and that is pretty far out of left field. That just from what I know and what we've discussed, that is definitely unexpected. Um, but I'm really glad I caught you before we have any clients coming in because I can only imagine how this is gonna affect the day. Um,
Yeah,
so
because I have a pretty packed day. And I mean the whole week is packed. Like this is a busy week that I have.
right, right. Well, and of course, I'm as the supervisor, I can help out. That's what I'm here for. Um, you know, I want to help you get through the day. So we'll take a look at your schedule and see, what I can help with. Now, obviously I can't take over everything. I can't, but is there something in particular that I can help out with that you can think of offhand that, you know,
Um, there's a few reports I needed to get done this week for some of the social workers. And so I mean I have all my notes typed up from the last 3 months about how things are going and the progress and stuff. And she just there's one of those clinician notes and then just like a letterhead explaining how things have been going. And if you could just review those and I guess make like a rough draft letterhead, and then when I get a chance I can um go through and really expand on that because I don't know if how I'm gonna do that. I just feel so distraught. Like I can't even think right now. Like I don't know. And I just feel like looking at a blank screen is not gonna be helpful. So yeah, just if you could do like a rough draft, I think I could take it from there.
and I know that you take phenomenal notes, so I think
Yeah.
that is definitely doable. Make sure to email me any updates that you do have, and that way I have that information, and I will absolutely help out with that. You know, I want to make sure that you're supported and that you're taking care of yourself too. I know we harp on self-care here, and when we do that, I know it comes off as preachy, but you know, if we're not taking care of ourselves and our own needs, we're not doing our clients any good. So,
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you are taking your breaks today. I know we all have a tendency to work through breaks. We're going to make sure we're taking our lunch breaks, and we're not going to fall down that rabbit hole of, you know, the figuring all this out, because we're going to be able to figure this out over time. Um, I I can't even think why your significant other would do this, but I want to make sure that if you're comfortable with it, I would like for you to come and check in with me between clients. Uh,
Okay.
if you're struggling, um, and I know that people tend to people tend to talk. I don't want you to feel obligated to talk to anybody or share anything that you're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
It,
If you could just I guess let the other clinicians know, like, obviously I'm having a rough day and I don't want to talk about it, because I feel like if somebody just sees me and like, hey, why were you late today? Or hey, are you okay? Like, I'm gonna have a breakdown, and I'm just not ready to talk about it, but I need them to know not to ask me without me having to tell them, because if I have to say it, it's not gonna work. So if you could do that, that would be great. That way people just know, like, hey, just don't ask her how things are going today. Um, like, I'm kind of nervous about going to lunch. Usually a couple of us eat together, and um I don't know. I might take my breaks in my office today just to avoid that, but I don't want like people coming in and wanting to like check on me or whatever, or try and bring it up. Uh, so yeah, I think that would be helpful.
of course, I will obviously not share any information that you aren't comfortable with, but I'll make sure that our coworkers know that we're not, you know, today's not the day. And,
Yeah.
over time, as you kind of figure stuff out, maybe you share, maybe you don't, but a lot of that, we'll want to keep
Yeah.
personal at
Because
home.
there's just a lot of unknown, and I don't
Yes.
know. There's nothing I can say, and I don't need to hear everybody theorize what could be happening or try and make me feel better about it, because nobody feels better about the idea that they just got a breakup text message after 3.5 years. You don't feel better about that.
And that's why I'm not going to say, oh, it's all going to get better. It's all going to this and that. That you know as well as I do that that doesn't help anybody. I just want you to know that I'm here to support you and to help you through the day. If you want to talk more about it, I'm hoping that as we move forward, you feel comfortable in coming to me. Um, if you are also comfortable with it, as we figure things out, please come to me in the mornings and check in, because
Okay.
I want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and that things are going okay. So let's plan for the next little bit for you know morning check-ins before clients come in and before we really get anything started.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. And
now,
and and I think with at least most of the clients that I have this week, I know in some sessions we're going over like some heavy stuff for them. Um, I feel like for the most part I can manage that. Like I think I'll be okay. Um, but their lives are just as chaotic, and so sometimes they come in and throw me something out of left field. Um, and so I don't know if something's going to be triggering. But if that happens, obviously I might need to step out and like, is it okay if I come to your office and let you know, like, I just like need a minute, or that for I have to abruptly end this session, which I know that's so unprofessional. I hate to do that, but um, if there's something like 15 minutes left, I might just have to end that early, or I might just need a moment to just kind of step away.
Well, and of course we want to keep it professional, but and especially if there's a client that is going through something that may be triggering or may be alarming on your end, let me know ahead of time, and perhaps I can either help you with either rescheduling or I can cover. Now, obviously, I can't cover, every session you have, but I
Right.
want to make sure to back you up as best I can as your supervisor. Um, like I said, we're going to make sure that we're taking care of our own needs, because us as therapists and social workers, we're just as human as our clients. We could just as easily be on the, you know, other side of the meeting, so to speak, other side of the desk, and I know that. But absolutely, I want you to feel comfortable with, if something is going on and you need to excuse yourself, please come to me. That's absolutely what I'm here for. Um, you know, we've worked together long enough that as a supervisor that I'm not just going to preach the self-care and the having your back. I do. I
Yeah,
want to back y'all up, and I want you to come to me if you need to, and if you're comfortable with doing so. So, I know we have clients coming in here in a few minutes, but is there anything else that we need to go over? Is there anything else we can talk through?
I think I'll be okay. I just need like a few minutes just to like maintain my composure, and I think I can do this. I think I can get through the day.
You got this. You got this, and know that you are not alone with this. So I
Yeah,
may be wearing the captain hat, but I've been in similar situations, and I want to help. I want to help you out. We'll figure this out, okay?
I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
So let's just regroup here in a little bit. Make sure we're taking our breaks. Make sure we're taking our lunch breaks and not fall down the text message rabbit hole. I mean, I know that it will unfortunately be a situation after work too. So, let's just keep that in mind. And like I said, just come to me if you need to in between sessions and just vent. That's okay. That's what I'm here for. Okay.
I
So
appreciate it.
make sure to make sure to email me those notes, and I'll take a look at those too, and we'll review them.
Okay,
So, all right.
I'll go do that now.
Thank you for meeting with me, and
Thank you.
just let me know when you need me. Okay. Thank you.